I want to read a little passage from this book by Adam Phillips. The book is called Missing Out in Praise of the Unlived Life. The passage is from the second chapter, which is called On Not Getting It. And in this chapter, he explores the idea of getting something, the desire to get something, like the desire to get a joke, which is associated with feeling like you belong to the group that gets the joke, that understands the joke. Similarly, we might talk about getting the point of a story, getting the point of somebody's action, getting a poem, so on and so forth. And in this chapter, he also argues that sometimes it might be a good idea to not get something. For example, when somebody's explaining something to you, instead of dismissingly saying that, yeah, I get it, which is that way of saying I get X, Y, Z, that way of saying I get something is a way of dismissing it and not paying any further attention to it. Let me begin reading. This is from page 74 in this edition. Quote, "The illusion of knowing another person creates the possibility, the freedom of not knowing them. To be free by not knowing them, to do something else with them. This knowing other people, Freud called transference. And it came from an earlier illusion of having known the parents and oneself in relation to the parents. Resolving a transference then means not, in the context of a psychoanalytic treatment, releasing the patient from seeing the analyst as though he were someone else, mother, father, sibling, etc., which means thinking you know who they are, that there was an original knowing. It is not working with the assumption that this person is not that person that I used to know. Like I used to know my father and my mother. I know who my mother is. I know who my father is. That there is an original knowing. Even that original knowing is the illusion. And it's a persisting illusion because it is now coming in and controlling our sense of knowing of a new person. It means releasing the patient from the project, which is partly an illusion, a necessary illusion that makes development possible, of knowing and being known. In Cavell's terms, Stanley Cavell, in Cavell's terms, to transform knowledge into acknowledgement. So we want to go from the sense of the illusion of knowing someone, knowing people, that they are subsumed into what is predictable to us. They're subsumed into our model of the world. Instead, simply acknowledging them, acknowledging their existence, acknowledging their reality, acknowledging the difference, true difference that they have, that they present to us. Psychoanalysis is a treatment, is an opportunity to recover the freedom not to know or be known. The freedom not to know or be known. And so to find out what people might do together instead. If we assume that it is not about knowing someone and being known by them, what else can it be about? We can also apply this way of thinking to the arts, to poetry. If the point of reading a poem is not getting it, is not understanding it, is not grasping it completely, and then end up saying, yeah, I get it. If that's not the point, what else is there to do with a poem? What can I do together with a poem, together with another person, together with a piece of art? What else can we do together if knowing and being known is not what it is that we are pursuing? One of the aims of resolving transference, one disclaimed by Freud, was to re-separate sex from knowing. Let's skip 2 pages because it's continuing to discuss sexuality. This is from page 76. When it comes to sexuality, we don't get it. Or maybe it's better to say we are not supposed to get it. But this doesn't mean that we just haven't yet come up with the right way of knowing, the right model of understanding it, the kind of knowing suited to our sexual natures. It means that when it comes to sex, we are not going to get it. We may have inklings about it, but we are not going to, as it were, get to the bottom of it. We can know the facts of life, but nothing else. We may, as it were, have sex, but we won't get it. And It's also possible to argue that in some cases getting it is missing the point. Getting something is to get it connected to the title of the book. By getting something in a dismissive sense, by explaining something, we are missing out on what it truly is and what it truly offers us. All right, my review of the book is coming tomorrow. In addition to that review, I should also say that this weekend we have a meeting, a free event, online event, book club discussion based on this book. This book club discussion is a meetup group. It's completely separate from my Patreon reading group. This one is free, open to everybody, and new members are always welcome. All right, till next time.